Good morning, student. Welcome to my class. BA second year semester 3rd English optional partition literature. Today we will going to learn about the communal conflict and violence. Communal violence after the partition, module 2nd and part 2nd, communal violence after the partition. The British India was partitioned into two independent countries, India and Pakistan, in 1947. The Hindu majority provinces formed India and the Muslim majority provinces formed Pakistan. At the time, two provinces, Bengal and Punjab, underwent division based on the district was Hindu or Muslim majority. At the same time, the partition involved the division of the British Indian Army, the Royal Indian Navy, and the Indian Civil Service, as well as the railways, the central treasury between the two newly created countries. After the dissolution of the British Raj, India and Pakistan legally came into existence at midnight on 15th and 14th August 1947. The partition displaced 10 to 15 million people on the basis of religion. We also study about it. It created great crisis in respect of refugees that migrated to and from both the countries. There was a large scale migration in a hasty and badly planned manner without adopting proper measures of security for both the communities. This led to unprecedented massive violence, taking the life toll of 1 million to 2 million innocent people on both the sides. The violent nature of the partition created an atmosphere of hostility and suspicion between India and Pakistan, which uh, pla- pledges their relationship even up to the present day. We know about the relationship even up to present day, the India and Pakistan. So there is some communal violence are there. So bloody riots in order to show strength of Muslims feeling towards its demand of autonomous Pakistan. The Muslim League gave a call for direct action day. Jinnah called for a general strike on 16 August 1946. The government officials declared holiday to minimize the damage on the day. Congress leaders opposed it and asked people to keep their shops open. The tension developed tremendously and it led to the massive riot in Calcutta. There was the outburst of bloody violence in which more than 4,000 people lost their lives and about on 1 lakh people were left homeless in Calcutta within 72 hours. This violence caused further religious riot in the surrounding region of Noakhali, Bihar, Punjab, and Northwest Frontier Province. In Chaman Nehwal's Azadi, we read how the train to Silkot from Wazirabad was stopped beyond the second signal near the village Nizamabad, and Hindus and Sikhs were singled out and slaughtered mercilessly. Nokoli Tippera riot was a reaction to the Great Calcutta riot carried out on 16th and 17th August 1946. It was the organized fury of the Muslim mob. Though the Muslim League claimed that the death toll of the Hindus was only 500, the survivors of the riot claim that more than 15,000 Hindus were massacred in it. During this riot, places of business were systematically attacked looted and then burned down. Towards the end of 1946 there was a devastating riot in Bihar. Riot in Bihar, and raising there was a large scale massacre of Muslims. Then it spread to nearby regions, raising the death toll up to 8,000 human lives. In Nisit Hazari's Midnight Furies, we came across horrible description of the incident. Nisit Hazari writes, gangs of killers set whole villages aflame, hacking to death men and children and the aged people while carrying off young women to be raped. In this context of violence, Krishna Baldio remarks in The Broken Mirror, when a partition becomes a reality in a time of terror and carnage, the incense turn out to be the only sin. Second one is planned violent and brutal attacks. After the declaration of the partition, there was a massive migration of the Hindus and the Sikhs to India and that of the Muslim to Pakistan. People were forced to evacuate their places and move to their distinct countries. On their way, the violent armed mobs attacked them and massacred innocent people. In Train to Pakistan, we read that two ghost trains carrying dead bodies of thousands of Hindus and Sikhs were sent to Manomazra. The dead bodies in the first train were cremated, but the dead bodies in the second train were buried in a mass grave. In retaliation to such a deeds, a train full dead bodies of Muslims was sent to Lahore as a gift to Pakistan. During the migration, more than 1 million people on both the sides were massacred brutally. The magistrate Hukum Chand shuddered at the ghastly sight of the disfigured corpses in the train. In his novel A Band in the Gangs, Manohar Malgaonkar presents graphic scenes of violence that occurred during the partition. This bloodshed had continued almost for a year from March 1947 onwards. Third one is the atrocities on the men. When Hindu and Sikh refugees were migrating to India, they were stopped on the way. The bearded men were put to death immediately. Others were stripped off. Those who were circumcised were allowed to go unhurt, but in respect of others. The penis were cut off. In Train to Pakistan, Hukum Chand's orderly's son-in-law Munsa Ram's penis was cut off in the presence of his wife. In his story, Toba Singh, Sadat Hussain Monto refers to the exchange of the lunatics in the mental asylum in Lahore. One lunatic is bewildered by the talk of partition and climbs up a tree and say, I don't want to live in India and Pakistan. Then he dies on the no man's land between India and Pakistan. Fourth one is atrocities on the woman. So, during a violent and massive migration, the woman's condition was the most pitiable. There were mass abduction of women. There was outburst of savage sexual violence. It is said that about 75,000 women were raped and then many of them were disfigured or dismembered. Sometimes they were sold, often many times over, and forced to settle down to a new life with strangers in unknown circumstances. William Dalrymple, in his book The Great Divide, point out that during the partition there were mass abductions and incidents of savage sexual violence. In Train to Pakistan, Hukumchand recalls how a newly married woman, Sundari, was raped publicly one by one in the presence of her husband, Nisid Hazare. In Midnight Furies compares the violence of the partition to the Nazi death camps and comments that partition brutalities were worse. Pregnant women had their breasts cut off and babies hacked out of their bellies. Infants were found literally roast on spits. In Salman Rushdie's novel Midnight Children, we get a number of allusions to the horrible incident of the partition and atrocities on the woman. There is some horrible incident with a woman and so shameful incident. It respects a repartition of abducted women. The women who had settled with their husbands and began a new life were forcibly sent back to their original places. We hear about a touching and awesome story of such a woman recounted by Prakash Tandon in his Punjabi Century, an autobiographical social history of colonial Punjab. Fifth one is the loss of property. In her book Partition Voices, Stories of Survival, Loss and Belonging, Kavita Puri's book Partition Voices, Stories of Survival, Loss and Belonging. The 1947 partition of India and Pakistan mostly affected those who were unaware of the fact that they were being ruled by foreigners. People in the villages of Punjab and Bengal were uprooted from the lands they had been living in for centuries and had to flee across the border, a border whose existence was still a myth to some. In their migration from their homeland to the imposed new homelands, they suffered much. They had to leave behind their immovable as well as most of the movable property. They could not take their cattle with them. They had to leave their places in such a hasty that they could make no arrangement for their lands, houses, and cattle. After the outbreak of each riot, much of their property was looted and burned down. In Chaman Nehwal's novel Azadi, we read about violence in Sialkot mohallas after mohallas were burned down. Similarly, in Calcutta, more than 10,000 people were rendered homeless during the Direct Action Day call, and its aftermath. Shops were looted through planned attack, and much of the property was burned down. The then loss of after that loss of property, the last one is the endless sufferings. During the phase of migration, the refugees suffered a lot. Many times they didn't get the necessary things in life. In refugee camps, they had to live in a crowded places without the sufficient provision of amenities. In Train to Pakistan, recalls the Hukum Chand recalls the story of Prem Singh, who had gone to fetch his wife's jewelry from Lahore but didn't return. Sundar Singh was a brave Sikh army officer. He was traveling with his wife and three children in an overcrowded train without any provision of food. It was very hot. His children were very hungry and thirsty, but there was no food nor any water. The train was held up for 4 days in the hot climate. At all stations, there were people with spears to attack the passengers. Sundar Singh's children were crying for food and water. Sundar Singh gave them his urine to drink. Then it too dried up, so Sundar Singh shot his children and his wife. He shoot Sundar Singh shoot his children and his wife. He didn't dare to kill himself. Similarly, at the refugee campus, people had to live in unhealthy circumstances without the proper provision for food and water. They had to endure means to suffer something painfully, and we continue. All those suffering mutely and helplessly. So there is the partition had affected life at the various levels. British India was divided politically and geographically. Personally, families were uprooted and made homeless. Commenting on this, Urvashi Bhutalia writes in her research paper the problem. But the partition was not only a division of property of assist and liability, it was also a division of hearts. It brought untold sufferings, trauma, pain, violence to the communities which had hit to live together under some kind of social contract. There is a little historical record of how people coped with the trauma and rebuilt their lives. We find their expression only in the stories, novels, and films on the partition of India. So, it is a most horrible, shameless incident for this partition, and so many problems in their survival's life. So today we are learned about the communal violence after the partition with the help of this point. Thank you, student.